Having last time out really impressed in the Svenskan Cupen, winning all 3 games and scoring 14 goals in the 3 group stage matches, we now focus our attention onto the league as we play our first ever game in the Damallsvenskan. And I really hope that our opponents today are not going to be terribly difficult, or if they are going to be difficult, they're not going to give us a beating to the point that our goal difference starts to cry. Kristianstad is our first opponent of the season. They finished in 3rd last year, and our 3rd game of the year is BK Häcken, so that's awkward. At least we've got Elfsborg in between us 2 games, so we might get some points on the board. Looking at the points tally, we need to get at least 30 points to be safe. Even 35 points is enough for a top half finish, apparently, so that could be interesting either way. That being said, let's get into the first game of the season as we attempt to get ourselves back towards the top of Swedish football and maybe, just maybe, back in the Champions League. But this season, survival is the main aim. And this is our team for the day. So, Quartier is back. We've had no games since we last met, so there's that. If I was to look at what the backwards staff are suggesting, they want me to bring Annie Miettinen into the starting lineup. She got injured again, so that's awkward. But Quartier has played for 75 minutes this time. The Björn, Fjordström, Becker, Quartier, Haugum, Mattsson, Nygren, Goldman, Brandström, Larsson, Robertson. The fact I'm pretty much sticking with most of the team that we had last year is interesting. We got Bodosen, Solen, Andersson, Westbrom, Backstrom, Astrom, Ankov, Trumich, and Miettinen on the bench. Yes, we got 9 substitutes in this competition. I could not have been happy when I discovered that was a thing. And look at the player rules, the squad rules. We have to have 9 players trained by a club in Sweden. We have got 15, so we're perfectly fine with that. The fact there's only 3 players in a squad that isn't trained by a club in Sweden is very promising and means that we can go abroad to get a lot of players not trained in Sweden. So hopefully we find someone good. We might need a new left back just for extra cover. I'm starting to regret letting Tilda Alison Nordberg go out on loan, but she also needed the football, so that's neither here nor there. I've also got the under-19s listed unavailable, so this is why you see a lot of players in this list. Either way, let's see how we do in our first game of the season in the top flight of the women's Swedish game. Our first game in the top flight of Swedish football. I do not know what to expect, but we've got someone on loan for the first time in my time at the club. It's just crazy to think about that it's taken so long to do it. But a top flight team, a top flight game. Can we do well? That is the question. That is the story. I really think we could do something magical this season, but I've also got to be very patient and just expect the worst to happen straight and foremost as we take on our first opponent of the campaign. And hopefully, just hopefully, we have a good start. Got to remember the last time we actually had a very slow start to the 2nd tier. We only picked up 7 points from our first 5 matches. And it was only after we took top of the table that we destroyed the league in the end. We actually had identical points in both halves of the season. Identical records as Larsson gets past her player. Goes for goal and Garcia denies. But yeah, 31 points in the first half of the season. And then 31 points in the second half of the season. 10 wins, 1 draw, 2 defeats, both sides. Hopefully we can do not that, but be nice to get that many points in a season in the top flight. That's the aim for now, is to survive. And getting 31 points would be really good. A free kick though, goal to take. I do have a good record in previous FMs of doing well my first season as a new Premier League team in these lower leagues or non-Premier League divisions. And that's a chance, and Robertson scores. We lead inside 13 minutes against a team that finished in 3rd place last year. This is really promising. The fact we get a goal from a free kick and there's another set piece is really good. It's a Nygren shot, actually, that helps us. And Robertson just nods it in and guides it towards goal, and it's really well worked. So now we have our lead. It's our home record that was really good last year. Away from home, we're not so good, as Larsson finds Robertson. We only lost 1 game away. We only lost 1 game at home last year all season. It was against a team TGFF as well. Larson goes for a goal from there. It was always going over, but if it dipped at the right time, that would have been a magnificent finish. Another opportunity again. 37 minutes in, I realised that despite having everything go away so far, things can easily change against us. And I'd rather not have that issue. But Matson, looping ball in the area, tries to find Larson, doesn't. But here's Holmgren. If we get a second now, this will be very promising. Goldman, Robertson save. Garcia, it's probably straight at her, but she had to make the save either way. 1-0 at half time. I'm not taking things for granted. Even as things stand, we are going up the third place because we're one of the 3 games playing today. Early doors. Another highlight for us is really good. Ellsberg just taking the lead against Rosengard. That's interesting. Here's Larson though. Plays across. Blocked. And they're going to try a counter-attack, which they are going to be able to get away with, it looks like. This is the only downside of my tactic is we can get caught on a counter sometimes. And they go for goal. That is over. We weren't planning on the pressure there. An opportunity to enjoy ourselves today, I think. I really feel like what we have here is really good. And if we can get a second, this is the main thing now is getting that second goal to really give us a bit of a cushion in case we have an issue. But here's Miettinen, who's on from the bench, goes for a goal herself. Would like to see her pass that. Miettinen is going to take the throw. It is a long throw, finds Astrom. She cuts inside. Well done there. It is over, unfortunately for us. They have a chance later on. We've gone down to 4th place, apparently. I don't know why we've gone down to 4th place. I assume it's results elsewhere scored against us, and that was a bad miss. Maybe a last chance for Christiansen to rescue this from us. But we get the ball back now, and it's Backstrom. Westbom. Plays outright to Fjallstrom, who is looking a bit tired. So having the extra substitutes is going to be good. But here's Backstrom now. Plays across. Astron scores. We double our lead right at there. And that is all 3 points in our debut game in the top flight of Sweden. We've not changed our squad at all that much. We've only really made 2 signings. 1 on loan, 1 permanent. And the fact it's most of the same squad doing this in the top flight is very promising indeed. Don't get me wrong, we rode our luck a little bit at times, but we still win our first game in the top flight as a manager. And we're looking at the first round of fixtures. Hammarby win thanks to 84th minute winner. Malmo go top with a 3-1 victory. Having gone behind at 1.2, we go second with a 2-0 victory against Kristianstad, who had 3rd place last year. Elfsborg threw away 2 leads against Rosengard to draw their first game back, and we take on them next. While BK Häcken lose their first game as defending champions and were 2-0 down inside the first half, so not the best starts for the defending champions who are in the semi-finals of the Euro Cup. And first round of fixtures are finished. AIK have beaten Djurgårdens by a goal to 0. Norrköping beat Linköping by a goal to 0 as well. Oh, season ticket sales officially confirmed. We've gone 5 times the amount effectively. From 350 season tickets to now 1,561 season tickets. Happy days indeed. And we can compare this to the rest of the league. We are in fact 4th on the list of season tickets sold this season. We made just £100,000, so because we froze our ticket prices, it's great. And even if we were to tinker this and see what else is here, we are still in 4th place regardless. Some teams go from 7th down to 12th because of how much money they've made for the season tickets they sold. So clearly some teams are very much giving out their season tickets for a fraction of the price compared to some other teams in this division. BK Häcken gained £500,000 for their season tickets. Probably says it all, I think. Also, just to show what we're fighting against, BK Häcken are making £1.3 million in sponsorship income. Rosengard making £950,000. Malmo making £625,000. Even Linköping, who we beat 6-0 in the cup, are making close to £500,000 with their sponsorship. So clearly, our £125,000 is not a lot of money compared to the other teams in this division. I also may have just asked my board if I can have more wage budget to work with. Hopefully they say yes, but they'll probably say no. And we look at the transfer money spent so far. Hammarby actually spent £128,000 and they're spending close to £1 million a year on their players. We're spending £335,000, so we're actually not 13th, we are 12th, but we're still spending close to a third of what Hammarby are spending on their players and close to 4 times less than BK Häcken. It's not as bad as I thought it would be compared to some teams, but it's still not as much as I thought it could be. And the fact that there are some teams, Linkoping for example, who are insecure financially is a bit alarming to me. They said no because they can't afford it. Fair enough. I tried. That's what I'm going to say. Also, transfer deadline days today, so I doubt anything's going to happen here. Oh, I guess it's one of those things where Trimic just had an offer from Team TGFF, but she's got no interest, so I doubt she's going to sign for them. And she turned them down. No surprise, really. And now the transfer window is closed, and we are fine. We only made like 3 deals, 2 deals. Also, still can't get any staff to sign for me, so that's annoying. I've literally put adverts out, but they want 2 times the amount of money we can give, so it's still annoying to me. But also, I've got 42 players in my books, mostly youth players, but I've already just outright said, yeah, just put them on the books, and we'll go from there. In case something dramatically bad happens, which shouldn't be the case, but you never know. Some more games have happened. I don't know why we weren't one of the teams playing, but we're now down to 6th place, because AIK have won, as have Hammarby, as have Norrköping. Kristianstad win against Elfsborg, so showing that what we did to them might be a bit of a one-shot thing. And Växjö beat Malmö by 3-0 as well. Okay, we are back, and Miettinen is going to start this time, as is Solen. It's the only 2 changes I'm going to make in this game. Everyone else is fine. Astron did pick up a knock, but is going to be back to full fitness tomorrow. I am still going to keep her on my bench regardless, because I think she can do a good job from there. I don't know what this injury is for Norden, but she's also a youth player, so it makes no difference to me. Anyway, we're taking on Elfsborg. This might be the last game we do. I don't know yet, but it'll be a test either way to see how we do. If we win, we get 6 points in the first 2 games and force Elfsborg to only have 1 point in the first 3. So we could be in a very strong position after just 2 games, and that would be delightful. So let's see how we do in our second game in the top flight. Even if it was against a team we took on twice last year in the second tier, and we took on in the cup already. So maybe not as dramatic, but it's still good to see if it was just a one-off thing, or if we were generally that good against them last time out. Okay, we've got a free kick. We just got one of their players suspended as well. AIK are 2-0 against Bournemouth Heikkinen, so that's a good performance as far as we're concerned. Larson goes for a goal. We lead. This is good. This is really good. This is the important game I was hoping we could do well in, because they're one of our relegation rivals, effectively. And I say relegation rivals because we don't know the season preview yet. That's still not fixed by the time I'm recording this. It might be fixed by the time this comes out, before I know, but that is really well taken down from Larson. I love that kind of goal. I really do. I forget how hard it immediately is concerning, though, because sometimes you see a team concede immediately from kickoff, but also you sometimes see the team who scored the opening goal score second not too long afterwards. So hopefully it's the latter, not the former. But it looks like we might be about to have to deal with a highlight ourselves, which is not ideal. Oh no, we get the ball back. This might be a highlight where we get a chance ourselves and make it 2 immediately. That'd be great. A counter attack. Oh, we love a counter attack. Robertson could go for goal, doesn't go for goal, plays it out wide to Johnson. That's a really good pass actually to find her. Nygrim. If I was the Elfsborg fans, I'd be concerned right now that we've literally already in their half for another attack. But it seems like we're going to be a bit patient with this one, as Becker finds Solen. The fact all of our outfield players are in their half right now is kind of ridiculous. I know we were dominant last year, but this is still a top flight game where we could just crowd their area, crowd their half, as Goldman cuts inside, goes for a goal. She does force a save from Torstensen. So, yay for her, I suppose. Okay, so, on the ball again, AIK have taken it again, or have conceded a goal. So it's now 2-1 in their game. I don't know why I'm focused on that, because it just keeps coming up a lot on my on the thing. But here's Goldman, can play us across, finds Miettinen. She goes and finds Mattsson. Mattsson goes for goal. That's a really good goal for her first ever goal for the club. And Olivia Mattsson doubles our lead. Don't you just love these kind of finishes, by the way? She probably should be closed down quicker, but she's allowed to have the shot, and she's found the top corner. It's a really good finish. So Miettinen's got 2 assists and is got a bruised knee. How is she always getting injured at the moment? That's ridiculous to me. As Stinger Jensen scores again. She scored against us last time. We lost here, don't forget, last season in the league. It was 3-1 to them, actually. I think we'd already won the league. Yeah, we already won the league at that point. But I was still annoyed we conceded that many goals. But first time we conceded this season, we got complacent. 2.5 time. As things stand, we're getting 6 points. And actually, we can actually click on this to see the table. It only shows... Okay, it doesn't show what I was hoping it would find me. So, clearly it hasn't really realised that this is a live table. Apparently, this is meant to be live. Apparently not. Well, that's broken. It says 6 points there. It doesn't here. So, clearly that is not working to the way it should be. But still, we've dominated. That was literally their first shot they scored with 2. So, hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us. Either way, we lead 2-1 at half time. Okay, so we've got the ball now. Solen finds Goldman, can play out wide to Miettinen, who I am probably going to take off soon because of her bruised knee, which doesn't show much about it, but just shows that she's got a bruised knee. But here's Larsson, has to play it back to Miettinen, can play it across to Mattsson, who's already got a goal to her name, goes for goal again, puts it just wide this time. That could have been free. I'm not comfortable until we double our lead again, because of that goal we can see just before half time. But here's Larsson, now Holmgren. Larsson, Goldman again, and here we are. Can play it across. Does Robertson? Oh, I was a bit too close to the keeper. Has to play it back to Mattsson. Here's Larsson. That's Backstrom. That's wonderful. We are back with a 2-goal lead, and it's good to see us really, really enjoying ourselves now. Good to see the substitute get her first goal of the game. Not sure if it's the first goal of the season. I've already forgotten that far ahead, but Mattsson, Larsson. First time ever for Backstrom, and it's really good. Another highlight, and we're getting revenge for what they did to us last year, really, and that's really good to see. Fjellström, Anderson, Backstrom, Westbrom, Fjellström, Westbrom again, Goldman, Astrom, goes for goal, just wide, actually it's the post, and it could have been 4. Apparently, we could see some of the supporters sneaking out because they made a point of saying that some of the fans have already given up for this. And that's a terrible throw. Goldman go for goal here. And that is in. That's a horrible performance for our opponents today. And they're new to just like us. It took a deflection, but it doesn't matter. We're 4-1 up here. And I thought this might be one of those banana skin games where we could just slip up, but no. We are taking full control here. Has it taken the deflection? Yes, hit the back of the player, and it's gone over Christensen's palms, and we are 4-1 up. This has been one of those games where my doubts of our ability to slip up, where my doubts of whether or not we can do well against a team that we should be beating are being answered here. But BK Häcken's the next game. I am still going to play that game because we are still a bit vulnerable at times in other areas. We conceded against Elfsborg. I think that tells you why I'm concerned. And that's another big victory. Another 3 points to our collection. 4-1. Let's go. And look at their results. Rosengard only drew against Djurgården, so both teams are below us again. AIK have won all 3 games so far. We've won both our games so far. Linköping did win in against Petia, who were down to 10 men since the 9th minute. So that makes sense why they're down there. And actually lost all 3 games. BK Häcken have lost again. That's both their games they've lost so far. And they've lost against Malmo. And if we beat them in the next game, we could be seen a BK Häcken team who are supposedly the defending champions struggling to even get points. That's ridiculous. The reason I am doing the BK Häcken game is because they're literally the top team for reputation, and I think you can understand why I'm considering that as an option. We are the 13th biggest reputation in the entire country now at this point. Only Elfsborg have a worse reputation than us, which I think says a lot. There's an interesting situation that we have come across right now, and I think that if we beat BK Häcken and really condemn their season to a horrible start, we could be in for a very exciting time for our point of view. So financially, in April, we're up to £144,000 now. We made 12 grand this month, but I don't know how much of that is going to be the case afterwards, because I feel like that might have been because of what we did last with the season tickets. Yeah, season ticket 25,000. That might be where we start to lose money. I don't know what to expect after this month, so this could be interesting. Okay, we're here. We're playing the last game of the video against BK Häcken. I believe it's at home. If it's away, then this makes it even more challenging as far as I'm concerned. We do have players apparently wanted now, which is interesting. Why is Anderson wanted? Oh, loan, okay. Could do that, but she's also part of my plans. I really can't afford to let anyone else go out on loan right now, as Hogan's also wanted on loan. We could do that for some players, but we also kind of need to have them around the squad. Unless we can get all their wages covered. That's not ideal. But yeah, literally the same team as last time. No change to the lineup whatsoever. And we're going to see if we can get our third win of the season. I doubt it will happen against BK Häcken, who are looking to get their first points of the season. And I believe are knocked out the Euros Cup. No, they are in the final. They're in the final Euro Cup. And they play Inter Milan. Okay, they just knocked out Frankfurt, having come from behind in the last stage. So suddenly, having come from 2-1 down to win 5-3 over the two legs, that makes it a bit more interesting. Because they have a final to look into. We now have to take on a team that's in a European final. The first Euro Cup final. And I don't know what to expect. So let's see how we do against BK Häcken. So we are away to BK Häcken. Honestly, the best team on paper. The highest paid team in the league. And we are looking to continue our unbeaten run of the season. I expect something is going to happen either way. They need points. They're in a European final, for goodness sake. And suddenly, this feels like one of those games that if they don't win, but can only do well in Europe, they're feeling like a very English Big Six team that is struggling to get points. I just seen the stats before this highlight started. We actually have a lot of shots and possession. We've just not seen any of them so far. But BK Häcken on the ball. Lubert on the charge now. I still remember how we discovered they only just won the league last season by accident, and they've hit the post. I say by accident because Hammarby blew their title charge, blew their title chances with no wins in the last 5. BK Häcken won 2 of their last 5. So neither team was particularly strong in the title fight last year, but BK Häcken did what they needed to do to survive. And the fact they've had 2 highlights so far, I'm not expecting a win either. This is one of those games where I've got nothing to lose. And if I get a point or 3 from this game, then great. We've achieved something. As Lubert again is going for the charge. And it's another save from Brown this time. Okay. They are the better team so far. Okay, another highlight for BK Häcken. This is the team to beat on paper. And I'm just staying my balanced mentality here. I don't really expect anything from this, if I'm honest with you. And the guy goes for goal, and it's another save. We're doing well to survive so far. I'm not going to go for a positive mentality. I might go cautious here. I can go cautious. I'm just going to see what happens from this point onwards. But we have a counter-attack started. Robinson gets the ball back. We do need players to help her, though. And that's a chance for Branson to do something. She needs support. Unless she goes for goal herself, which she has done. She's hit the side netting. And now a chance for BK Häcken. That almost went out, but we kept the ball back. Branston has to play it back to Forsström. Here's Matson. And we're in their half. Very comfortably in their half. And this is what we are very good at. Is forcing them to be stuck in their own half. And then we just carve them open with surgical precision. Unless we make a mistake like that. And Bergström starts a counter-attack for BK Häcken, and Lubert. This is 3-on-2 effectively, and Björn denies comfortably. So then, Miettinen, ball forward to Larsen. We can get a counter-attack. If Robertson made a run and kept going with a run, it could be nice. But here's Goldman. Now Robertson has to play it out wide. Goldman, Miettinen. And she could do something here. Could play the cross, tries to find Larsen, doesn't get to her, but Nygren. Bronston back to Nygren, back to Bronston, goes for goal, shot is blocked. This feels like the biggest quote we have so far, as Miettinen can get a cross in here. And it's being dealt with. We're not brilliantly. Nygren, trying to find Larson, Branson. This is like headball right now. But Robertson! If she gets on target, that's in. The difference between us and BK Hacken in these chances, we're not getting our chances on target. They are getting chances on the target. But it's our goalkeeper saving us right now. As Bergström and Vigard. Bergström again. And they can go for goal here. And it's finally a goal for them. And BK Hacken take the lead. It's Lubert. It is deflected. But they have been the better team in this game. There's no question about it. And I also realized this was coming. This felt like one of those games where this is the big test for me as Kimoshita finds Lubert. And it is deflected off our defender. I think it is Miettinen. And Brun isn't exactly going to get to that, unfortunately for us. That being said, another highlights immediately started, and I'm concerned, because I know this can go against me now, but here is Goldman. Larson. Outright in Miettinen. And we have an opportunity to do something here. We just need to be patient. But here is Goldman, who I know is very good for this position. Cuts inside Goldman. Goes for a goal. Just wide. That was close. So 1 at half-time. Sacrifice, but you can see why we're not winning. Chances on target, that's the issue. We didn't have a single chance on target that wasn't an accidental shot, and we are never going to win if we don't have shots on target. And I'm honestly going to tell them, look, we need to do better at our shooting. That's what we need to do. Throw for us. And if they get a shot on target that I know they can do, and we've definitely shown our shooting boots this season, in both the cup and the league so far, then we could do well. Here's Goldman, Nygren. He's going to have to play outright in Miettinen, who hasn't had the best of games, but she's found Goldman. Good chance. Goldman! She's offside? How? Where? What's a goal, by the way? That is on Goldman, but that is... I'm not even going to see why she's off. Oh, yeah. Okay, Miettinen with the throw. Goldman. We have found the back of the net. Just offside. It's the first offside we've really had I can think of. Here's Nygren. Gets it back. Now Miettinen beats her player. Goes for goal. And she's equalised. We have equalised. Oh, we've done it. This hasn't been great. But finally, we're starting to show what we can do with our shooting. And this is a great finish. And when Miettinen was able to beat her player, you just knew there's an opportunity. Oh, what a finish. Falk had no chance to get into it. And an opportunity to do something here I know we are capable of doing. Holgram playing the right-hand side for the first time this season. Nygren plays across. Goldman just wide. We're getting close to this winner. I tell you what, I'm taking that. I know we probably could have won. At stages, we looked like the better team in XG and chances we created. If we had more chances on the target, we would have won this game. There's no doubt in my mind now. But that's a magnificent result regardless. To take on last year's champions as a newly promoted team and to get 2 points, or to get a point against them and force them to lose 2 points, that's wonderful. We've done really well here and I'm proud of the team. And now, after 3 games, we are in full place. We're actually in the Champions League spots after 4 games, which is great. Really happy with this start. And long may it continue. I obviously don't expect it to continue for the rest of the season, but this is a really promising start. And to get points against BK Hacken is good. Ellsberg, who are promoted with us, are in the bottom 3 now, so that's not great for them. But we are 6 points clear of the relegation zone. That's a good start. And I really hope we can keep this up. But what I am going to do is end this here. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys would like and share this video. And that you'll subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a lot. But anyway, until next time, goodbye and well, good night.